Mercy, the principal path pointed out by Jesus Christ to those who are desirous of following him. It has excited the faithful in a particular manner to instruct and comfort the sick and the dying poor. And that is foundational to the Sisters of Mercy. I'm Sister Carol Muncha, a Sister of Mercy of the Institute of the Sisters of Mercy in the West Midwest Community of Mercy. And I currently am working in campus ministry at St. Xavier University here in Chicago, Illinois.
So Pope Francis gives us this gift of this Jubilee year.
Absolutely.
Why, in your opinion, do you think this is so necessary for our world today and for our church today?
I think there is so little understanding currently of mercy by a large number of people. And so for us, it is really a good time to be able to help them to understand what it means. And not only being benevolent in one-time giving, whether it's money or time or food, but how do we sustain that merciful living every day in giving to others? That's a very important piece for them to know. And we know that at significant times like Christmas and maybe Easter, people are very generous. But what happens to the day-to-day living out of mercy? We are always mindful of living out that even before the year of mercy was declared. But of course, this was a very huge thing for us to have Pope Francis call for this year of mercy. It means a lot to us, and we're trying to do as much as possible relative to getting the public, all of our people in churches in the world to understand what mercy means for them and not only for us.
How do you understand mercy in relationship to our God?
God is merciful, first of all, to us all the time. There's, again, a lack of recognition, I think, or awareness of how the theology, has come down to us or how we live it out. And we see it mostly in the life of Jesus. We see over and over again how he listened, how he felt. I think it has a lot to do with transformation, the conversion of our hearts, and that we need to be aware, first of all, how God has been merciful to us. And that mercy comes through others, largely through others. At least for my life, it has always come from others. At the university where I minister, I see the students who are very engaged in the corporal and spiritual works of mercy. And one of the deepest impact that seeing what the students do has just been amazing. And it happened when we are working toward reform in immigration. And the students periodically go to Broadview, where there's a detention center. And at that time, I rode on the bus with about 22 students, and one of them became the leader. And what she did was, while we were driving, which is a pretty long drive, she spoke to the facts about immigration and the separation of families that occur. And she gave all kinds of statistics for the students. And I could just see the change in the students' faces when they heard of the dilemma of families who were being separated and deported and the pain that endured. She also spoke of her own mother, who there was a fear that she would be deported. So for me, this evidence of her desire to get others to understand how we need to act out of mercy was just so moving for me. It touched me deeply to see that our young people are so engaged and so want to extend the mercy of God to those who are in need. probably the most outstanding time I felt God's mercy was after Vatican II, and I was in a former community and with the Sisters of Mercy. And at that time, there were many changes that were coming, and I could see that my community was not going to change for me. So I needed to explore how to live out my vocation, because I truly felt called, to religious life. And so at that time, I was surrounded by people who were there for me. And so it was God working through others who were merciful to me. A confessor, a priest, other religious, both within that former community and outside of it, who were there for me. And to this day, it's an interesting thing. When I entered that community, we were 8, and I was the 5th Beatitude, which was, "Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy." And so here I am in a community of mercy now that was bridged for me by the mercy of God through others.